Prey? What was Prey? Prey. What was Prey? Fuck, I just watched it. I just watched this video and I can't remember what it was about. What is up, guys? Clief 101 here, and today I'm going to be bringing you the week of E3. Now, this is going to be a review of pretty much everything that's been, well, not everything, some of the other standouts of E3 that has come out to me during the week. Now, I won't be going over what I went on my midweek review because that's just doubling up on things, and we want to take a look at a couple of other things that we haven't already seen on the channel. So, let's move on and carry out the review. So the first thing that I want to take a look at is Robinson, which is a game that's going to be brought to you through the VR technology for the PlayStation 4. It's an interesting looking game, to say the least. The trailer was introduced as a first-person mode. You were kind of like crash landing and waking up from space and everything, and you've got this little sphere ball that reminded me of, I think his name was like Wesley or something from Portal 2. That's all I could think of every time I saw that. You go out and you effectively explore this new uncharted world, thinking you're a lone survivor from the planet, from the spaceship that you were on. So it definitely looks interesting, to say the least. And hopefully it's one of the platform titles for the VR when it does release and everything. I don't think it'll be ready for release when the VR releases, but it does look like it'll be a good game for the VR when it is actually out and up and running and ready to go. It definitely looks interesting and as a game to watch out for in the future. Next game we want to take a look at is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game looks intriguing to me because, for me, watching the trailer, it looked like Link before we know him as Link, before we know him as the silent protagonist of the Legend of Zelda games. He's not in his He's not in his green elf-like costume. He's just wearing sort of more casual clothes. He's exploring Hyrule. The description in the trailer was sort of like he's going over and exploring Hyrule, like the demise of Hyrule. So I'm wondering if it's before Zelda itself, herself. And yeah, it's interesting. Like, we don't really have much of a story to go by from it, but from the looks of things, from what we've seen in the trailer, which I will be portraying up right now, yeah, it looks like Link before any of the other games, before his Link sort of thing. So definitely a game that I want to keep updated on. I've never really been a huge player of the Legend of Zelda games, but I have always sort of followed them. So this definitely looks an intriguing one to perhaps pick up myself. Detroit Become Human. This game, E3, man, like, the amount of choices that this game has been shown to give you within the trailer. Now, I'm not going to put the whole trailer up, but you need to go and watch the whole trailer of this game. Just in this one scenario that you can see here, the amount of choices and diversity and outcomes that can come from just this one scenario is extraordinary. Let alone putting that mechanic into an entire game and then letting you go about it. So I'm imagining that if I play this game and then if you play this game, we're going to come to two completely different outcomes on any given scenario, and the story is just going to take a different direction. That's how I can see this sort of playing out. Maybe like a good direction and a sort of bad direction, depending on the choices that you make. It does kind of look like as well that because you're an investigating android, Some of the choices are sort of left out of your hands, and the more research you do in regards to an investigation brings more opportunities to have different outcomes, I suppose. So, definitely a game that is going to be very, very in depth and very choice ridden, which is something I think gamers are screaming out more for after the success, highly success of the Mass Effect trilogy. So keep an eye on this game. It's going to be a good one. Next game that we want to take a look at, which is, I'm pretty sure, being released later on this year, Horizon Zero Dawn. The whole community has been waiting for this game ever since the first trailer came out. I think it was E3 last year. We've got some gameplay here now that we can show you, and a little bit of a story to go with it. And I've got some theories as to what's sort of going on now. Now, we're led to believe that the machine monster things, sort of the big bad guys kind of thing, roaming around like, just everyone's afraid of them and everything, and that's just how they are. But we do get a bit of dialogue within the trailer in regards to the corrupted and things like that. And I'm going to show you a little something here where the corrupted ones are kind of like glowing red with their mechanical parts and everything. And then the main character sort of changes, plugs in, changes it and uncorrupts it, and they change to blue. So I'm wondering if in the past, because the gameplay is featured around fighting sort of like a historic old robot animal thing. I'm wondering if somewhere along in the past, these creatures, these mechanical creatures, kind of turned somehow. Someone maybe would have done it. And the game, from what I can understand, and from the description in the trailers and everything that I'll be linking down below, this woman wants to go and explore and research the history of what's actually happened, and I suppose we'll get to know the answers to why these machine animals are the way they are, and I guess we'll come across a way to be able to fix that and get human civilization back on track. But it definitely looks like, and we can see, it's going to be a massive open world game, RPG, that you follow like a direct sort of storyline towards, and I'm assuming it's going to be a lot like Fallout in regards to having a lot of side quests for NPCs and so on and so forth that you meet and come across. And it does have a bit of a choice factor in regards to it, where you can ask certain questions, I suppose, and I think they might be able to give you some choices in how to answer some questions and whatnot. So we'll just have to see how that plays out, if they do release any other footage of gameplay before the game releases. But this is definitely one game that you should be looking to pick up on release, because it's going to be one of the biggest games that comes out of recent times. So keep an eye on that one. It'll be big. 7 Days to Die. Now this game, I've not really heard a lot about it, but it's something that I came across, and to me it looks like a little bit of a 3D first person Minecraft meets zombies. The way that you can construct things, mine things, it's all sort of block generated as well, but the main sort of core element of the game is zombies that seem to come at night time. So you've got daytime to be able to build your forts, prepare for the night, so on and so forth, and then nighttime comes and they come. So that'll be interesting to see. The gameplay that we've seen within the trailer looks very interesting. It looks very Minecraft-like, but with like massively updated graphics, I suppose. And it looks to be better, but the mechanics appear to be very, very similar. Definitely one to keep an eye on, just to see the progress of it, and to see whether it turns out to be sort of how we think it's going to be. 7 Days to Die is the title, so maybe you can only play the game for 7 days. We'll have to wait and see on that one. And the last game that we want to take a look at today is Prey. Now, this is another game that I haven't really heard a great deal about, but watching this trailer, it looks amazingly good. To me, just watching the trailer, it looks like a sort of in space as opposed to on Mars take of the Doom sort of series, where scientists are doing some experiments specifically on you, and something goes wrong, and now you are sort of blasting your way around the place, and figuring out what's going on, kind of thing. That's what it seems like to me, but we just haven't seen enough, or I haven't seen enough to be able to really determine what's actually going on. But that's kind of what it looks like to me, a sort of on a spaceship in space take on what Doom is like in regards to, you know, scientists doing scientific things, something goes wrong, and all hell breaks loose. So we'll just have to see, but keep an eye on this one as it develops. It definitely looks like it's a good game. It looks absolutely magnificent. It'll be one of the games of the years when it actually does release, so keep an eye on that. It has been a massive week for E3, one of the biggest in history, I think, in my personal opinion, and I cannot wait for some of these titles to come out, especially some titles that are waiting to come out this year, like Final Fantasy 15. No Man's Sky, which releases very, very soon. There are a couple of other games that I'm looking forward to as well that are sort of like honourable mentions, like Final Fantasy 12 Remastered, the Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which hopefully Kingdom Hearts 3 is not too far away. We didn't hear anything about that this E3. And there are a lot of other games that are coming out before the end of this year. And don't forget that there will be 50 titles for the PlayStation VR when that releases in October. 50 titles before the end of the year going to the PlayStation VR. So that will definitely be worth looking at picking up if you are interested in the VR. And boy, Resident Evil 7 on that is going to be terrifying. Now guys, on my last video, which I will link right up here, and I'll do that at the very start of the video as well, so please go and check that out, the midweek review. If you want to see some other trailers and other games that have been released or revealed through E3 and are not in here, go take a look up there. It is definitely worth a watch. That video was actually copyrighted, so I'm fighting the man on that one. If you do like more videos like this, please leave a comment down below, leave a like down below, and subscribe to the channel. It does mean a great deal to me, and I do want to bring more videos like this, and I will be doing more videos like this in the future, and on a weekly basis as well. Just bringing a bit of variety to the channel than what the Let's Plays and stuff are. I'm Clief101, thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.